Hello, and thank you for watching this video on dividing fractions. Today we are going to have a look at how you divide simple fractions like a half divided by a quarter. And then we will have a look at fractions with bigger numbers, 2/5 divided by 3/10. And then finally we are going to divide mixed numbers together. Okay, so let's start with the first one. A half divided by a quarter. So, when you have two fractions that you want to divide with each other, first thing to do is to copy down the first fraction. Then, we take the divide sign and turn it into a multiply sign. But when you do that, you have to turn the final fraction upside down, like so. So now we have a multiplying of fractions, and then you see if you can cross cancel. So yes, I can. The 2 and the 4, they can be cross cancelled. 2 goes into 2 once and 2 goes into 4 twice, and then you simply just multiply the top and multiply the bottom. 1 times 2 equals 2, 1 times 1 equals 1, so we get 2 over 1, which equals 2. Right, let's have a look at this one. 2/5 divided by 3/10. So, I copied down the first fraction as it is, 2/5. I then take the divide sign and turn it into a multiply sign. But I have to invert the second fraction upside down in order to do that. So, it becomes 10 over 3. Then, the next thing I need to do is, can I simplify these fractions before I multiply? Can we cross cancel? I think yes. 2 and 3 we can't, but the 5 and 10, yes we can. So 5's into 5 goes once, 5's into 10 goes twice. Then we can just multiply the top and the bottom. 2 times 2 equals 4, 1 times 3 equals 3. So I get an answer of 4/3. But as this is a top-heavy fraction, I should really convert this into a mixed number. So 3's into 4 go once. Remainder 1, which goes on the top, divided by 3. So we get an answer of 1 1/3. Right then, let's have a look at two mixed numbers that are divided by each other. So the first thing you have to do is to convert both of these into top-heavy fractions. The way we do that is we take the first denominator and we multiply it by the big number. So 2 times 3 equals 6. And then we add on the numerator, 2, which is 8. So that is the same as 8 over 3. Then we divide by, we have to do the same to this fraction. So the 2 times the 1 is 2, plus the numerator, which is 3. So and then we divide it by whatever's been divided by at the bottom, the denominator. So we divide it by 3 over 2. Okay, then we can start the next step, which I copied down the first fraction, 8 over 3. I need to turn my divide sign into a multiply, and then I need to invert the second fraction, so it becomes 2/3. The next step I need to do is to see if I can cross cancel, and in this case the 8 and the 3, there are no common factors, and there are no common factors that way either. So we can just go ahead and multiply. 8 times 2 equals 16, 3 times 3 equals 9. So with the answer, you always want to leave that as a mixed number. So we need to think about how many 9s go into 16, that is once. The remainder goes on the top, so 7, and we divide it by the denominator of 9. So our answer is 1 7/9. Right, so from those 3 examples you can see the key points that we have to do every time. So first thing to do is to see if the fractions are actually mixed numbers. You need to turn them into top-heavy fractions. Then you copy down the first fraction and turn the divide sign into a multiply. And to do that you have to turn the second fraction upside down. That keeps everything the same. And then cross cancel if required. And lastly, multiply the top numbers together and the bottom numbers together. If your answer is a top-heavy fraction, you're going to have to convert that back into a mixed number. Okay, so 3 to try for you at home. Pause the video, have a go at these, and then I will show you what the answers are to compare the two. Right, let's see how you did. So the first thing I do here is I would write down the first fraction, turn the divide into a times, and invert the second fraction. Then all you have to do is multiply the top and multiply the bottom. 10 over 12, which equals 5, 6. Well done if you got that correct. Second one, I'll write down the first fraction, turn the divide into a times, write down the second fraction. 7 times 5 equals 35 over 10, which in turn equals 3. Remainder 5, 5/10, which is a half. And the third one, this is a little bit trickier with two mixed numbers, but let's give it a go. First of all, I'll just turn them into top-heavy fractions. 3 1/3 is the same as 10 thirds, divided by 2 1/2, which is the same as 5 over 2. Then I can turn that into 10 thirds times 2 fifths, which equals 20 over 15. And I'll write that back as a mixed number, which is 1 and 5/15, or 1 and 1/3. Well done if you got that correct. So let's make it a little bit more challenging for you. If you can answer this question, then you really understood this very well indeed. And you can call yourself the master. So let's see what we got. Can you find the missing fraction? We have 5/8 divided by something equals 10/11. Copy this down and see if you can find a way of working out what is that missing fraction. Pause the video and then I'll come back with the answer shortly. Okay, so let's see how you did. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write 5/8 times, that fraction has to be inverted to make our answer 10/11. So we need to think 5 times what makes 10. Okay, I know that's going to be 2. 8 times something equals 11. Well, that can't be done. So I'm going to have to make an equivalent fraction so that can work. So rather than use 2, obviously some cross-cancelling has been done in the past. So I'm going to times the 8 by the 2, okay, to make a 16. So at the top, that's going to be 16. So when we put 8 into both, that cancels down to make 1 and 16. So if this number here becomes 1, I can write that as 11. So what we get, if I rewrite it here, is 5/8 times 16 over 11, which equals 10/11. Let's see if that works out. Always check your answer. So cross cancel there, 8's into both. 5 times 2 equals 10, 1 times 11 equals 11. So because that was inverted initially, we're going to have to turn it upside down again. So my answer is actually 11 over 16. Alright, quite a tricky one there. Excellent, excellent if you got that correct. And you can call yourself the master of dividing of fractions. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.